He says, I once asked you on an AFS Zoom about when you knew Mrs. Lundy was the one for you, and you told a great story about meeting her. Can you share that story once again, please, for everyone?
Sure. Short term. Scott Armstrong and I actually had a day off, and the Pensacola State Fair was in town. It was that period of time, and I love the fair. So we were off on Wednesdays working for Pensacola territory, and so we went to the fair, and we come upon a gaggle of young ladies, and they were all dressed up goofy. It was like an initiation for something. They had goofy paint on, just wearing goofy clothes, There was a group of them, so we stopped, and Scotty had met Aaron some point prior to this, maybe once or so somewhere or something. And it could have even been at the matches because Aaron's mom was a big wrestling fan, and she'd like to go down to the live matches occasionally in Pensacola, and that's probably where he met her. So he introduced me all around, and there was just something. I mean, you could see through the shitty clothes. You could see through the makeup, the goofy makeup, and this was all meant to look goofy.
Yeah.
And there was just something, and I went, well, we went on about our business, and might have been a week, might have been 2 weeks, or could have even been a month. Could have been longer than that. I was at the curtain watching one of the earlier matches, and brother, this bubble butt and white pants, white Levi's, walked by, and man, it was like somebody punched me in the solar plexus that week. Jesus. And then I went and got Scotty. I said, hey, is that who I think it is? That the girl we met a couple weeks ago, a month ago, whatever? Yep. So she had been going to get something to drink, concession stand, and when she came back by, called her over. And brother, when I saw her up close, fixed up, she was drop dead gorgeous, man. I ain't kidding you. It was, love at first sight's too cliche to even get it started. It was just one of those things that she was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. And so we talked, and she let me have her number, and called her, and spent about the next month going over and sitting on the couch at her house and watching TV with her and mom.
Mm.
Her mom was not going to allow me, as well as her brother, her older brother, to leave the house with her until they had a little further investigation. Being a wrestler, I'm sure, did not help.
But mom was a fan of wrestling, right?
Mom was that was my angle to get in. And brother, I put on all the proper airs, and was a gentleman, and won mom over, and went to a movie date, and eventually, and it just, I never let go.
And you've made sure she's owned a pair of white pants ever since, is what you're trying to say.
Well, it was, one of my favorites, and she had that big 80s head full of hair. And
oh, yeah.
Just gorgeous, man. Damn.
I love it. That's a great story, Arn. Thank you for sharing. And it's always fun to hear how someone met their significant other. So I love to hear that story. Putting on, as Eddie Prather says in the chat, the Anderson charm. So if you cut promos just like if you were a flirt, like you could cut promos, I'm sure you took care of the family, you took care of her, and it all was good when they met Arn Anderson.
Well, I went into babyface mode, point blank. Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, that's the answer, yes.